Right. So, what we are going to discuss today about what are the different errors we will find when we are working on the 837 EDI files, because 837 is an EDI transaction set majorly used for claim submission. Okay, whatever the claim submissions, everything we do, we use 837.
Yeah.
But when we are working on EDI 837 or any of the EDI files, there are some errors you may come across. Means what kind of errors we come across and how this can be addressed. Okay, so that is
Mm.
something essentially important. Being into the analysis roles, essentially it is required. So what are the different errors do we have and all that?
Mm.
So these are the errors. Please make a note. First is syntax errors. I will explain one by one. You please make a note. The first one is
Mm.
called syntax errors.
Mhm.
Second called validation errors. Third one is called hierarchical structure errors. Fourth, duplicate claims. Five, incorrect codes. Repeating again, the error files in context to the 837 EDI files, errors are as follows. Some could be syntax errors, some could be validation errors, some could be hierarchical structure errors, some could be duplicate claims, some could be incorrect codes.
Mhm.
Now, what generally syntax errors will be of? Write down. These are
Mhm.
the ones when
Yeah.
the file is not formatted.
These are the.
These are the means syntax errors,
Mm.
I mean to say.
Mhm.
These
Mhm.
are the errors
Mhm.
occurs
Yeah.
when the file is not formatted. When the file is means claim file, I mean to say that. Okay, I mean to say that.
Mhm.
Claim submission file is not formatted according to the according to the X12 standards. According to the X12 standards. This may consist of comma continuation. This may
Mhm.
consist of
Yeah.
extra spaces. This may consist of extra spaces
Mhm.
or incorrect segment terminators, etc.
Mhm.
Now, syntax errors. Syntax means syntax level differences you need to know, because when we are working on the files, whenever we are working on these files, essentially important when we are working on the EDI 837 files, there could be some syntax errors you may get. What are the different syntax errors do we have? So these syntax errors will be identified, means will be considered as the when there are any files that we are uploading, especially claim files we are uploading based on the external standards. We have to follow the external standards for sure when you are following it, when you are uploading it. So when we are not following, when there is a situation that we have not followed any XML standards, or if there is any no file level format level things were not submitted properly, automatically you get the syntax errors. Syntax errors can be anything. For example, let's say that you have given some extra space. So between two different words, for example, one line is enough, but one additional space is enough. So you have given extra space, means two steps of spaces you have given. Automatically, it will give you an error for you.
Mm.
Next, segments. Incorrect segment. Segment means which segment it is belongs to. For example, depends on the type of claim that we process. There are different segments we have. Okay, so that segment level incorrections. Whether, for example, if there is any incorrection in the segment level that we have given. So all these things are comes under syntax errors. This is point number one. Point number two, validation errors. Right now, validation errors. These are the ones These are the ones
Mm-hmm.
happen, happen,
Mm-hmm.
happen data,
Mm-hmm.
when the data that was provided, when the data that was provided
Yeah.
doesn't meet the,
Provided what?
doesn't meet the, doesn't meet the
Uh-huh.
required
Uh-huh.
rules for specific segments. Required rules for specific segments.
Required.
Rules for specific segments. For example,
Mm-hmm.
for example, when we are when we are when we are updating,
Mm-hmm.
when we are updating HI segment, when we are updating HI segment,
Mm-hmm.
when we are updating HI segment, missing
Mm-hmm.
missing
Yeah.
missing CLM segments, missing
Mm-hmm.
CLM segments,
Mm-hmm.
or invalid diagnosis codes, or invalid diagnosis codes
Mm-hmm.
comes under validation errors. Comes under validation errors.
Mm-hmm.
Comes under validation errors. Means validations. For example, there are different segments as I told you. One of the segment is called H1 segment. So whenever we are working on the H1, say HI segment, for example, let's say that you are missing some information over there, right? Or if, for example, required fields are needed, that required fields are not mentioned in the particular item.
Mm-hmm.
So that time, generally, there are some errors you may come across. That's where generally we call it as validation error stands for. Understood? You're clear?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
Right. Now, hierarchical structure errors. Hierarchical structure errors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, whenever,
Mm-hmm.
whenever hierarchical structures, whenever hierarchical structures
Mm-hmm.
like like
Mm-hmm.
claim level or patient levels,
Claim label or
comma patient levels
uh-huh.
must be relied on, must be relied on
Mm-hmm.
X12 formats. X12 formats.
External means what?
X12,
External.
X12, X12,
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
X12 formats,
Mm-hmm.
comma continuation.
Yeah.
If we have identified, if we
Mm-hmm.
identified
Uh-huh.
any incorrect placement, any
Uh-huh.
incorrect placement of HL segments, of HL segments,
Uh-huh.
incorrect placement of HL segments
Mm-hmm.
will be considered as, will be considered as
Mm-hmm.
hierarchical structure errors.
Hierarchical structure. Error.
Hierarchical structured errors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hierarchical structured errors.
Uh-huh.
Next, duplicate claims. Claims that are submitted. Claims that are submitted.
Mm-hmm.
More than one.
Mm-hmm.
More than one.
Mm-hmm.
With the claim same number. With the same claim number.
Mm-hmm.
That's called duplicate claim. Understand? Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Done?
Yeah. Yeah.
Last one, incorrect codes. When,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when we are updating the codes, it means I dot E.
Mm-hmm.
It means
Mm-hmm.
any diagnosis or procedure codes. It means any diagnosis or procedure codes
Mm-hmm.
when we are submitting the claim form. When we are submitting the claim form,
Mm-hmm.
when we are submitting the claim form, if we found
Mm-hmm.
if we found
Yeah.
any incorrections, any corrections,
Mm-hmm.
if we found any corrections,
Mm-hmm.
such as
Uh,
such as
uh-huh.
wrongly mentioned, wrongly RONGLY, wrongly mentioned
Uh-huh.
code numbers,
Code.
code numbers, CODE code numbers, NUMBERS, code numbers
Uh-huh.
are called as incorrect codes. For example, there is a procedure code, okay, for X-ray.
Yeah.
Okay, X-ray code number, for example, 123. For example, I'm just giving
Mm-hmm.
a rough figure, okay, 123. It was mentioned as 132. Automatically, it's called as incorrect code because for X-ray, the code number that should be mentioned is wrongly mentioned. This is called incorrect codes.
Yeah.
Understood? Clear, Banta?
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the different errors